It's clear that Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber have had a rough week. I saw something new about them everywhere I looked, and each update made things feel worse. I'm not trying to make things sound worse than they are, but I could tell how quickly the mood changed around their marriage. At first, people were ignoring all the rumors. Then, out of nowhere, Justin said things that no one thought he would say. Then came the clips that everyone kept watching, the interviews that made things even more confusing, and that one moment that was caught on video and kept the internet busy for hours. It's the kind of situation where you don't even need to guess. If the facts are clear, we're going to go through everything that happened today step by step, starting with the first sign that things at the Bieber home weren't as peaceful as everyone thought. It seemed like the turning point when Justin and Hailey finally said their marriage was having problems. For years, any talk of problems was quickly put to rest, either by fans or by people who said the tabloids were making up stories. Justin and Hailey are now the ones making those claims. I could tell that their words sounded different and heavier this time. Hailey saying they're taking their marriage one step at a time may sound simple, but it's not. Couples say this kind of thing when they're trying to study something that's already getting harder to keep together. And what Justin has said lately hasn't made it any easier to ignore. He looks tired, far away, and not focused. You can almost feel the pressure behind every public moment they share. One fan said, "This is the first time they're not pretending everything is fine." And I get why people feel that way. When a couple that usually keeps their feelings to themselves suddenly stops doing so, it shows how serious things might be. Someone else said being honest is a sign of maturity, but it also proves that the rumors were true. At first, I didn't want to agree, but it's hard not to see where people are coming from. When Justin and Hailey start using words like hard, difficult, and day by day, it means that the stress at home has gotten so bad that they can't pretend anymore. And that was just the beginning. Everything that happened after that made their confession feel even more serious. Things got worse right after Justin and Hailey said their marriage was going through a rough patch. As soon as Justin got out of the car at Kris Jenner's birthday party, the internet saw something that no one saw coming: a weird white powder mark on his pants. And to be honest, the timing couldn't have been worse. When a couple is already tense, even the smallest thing can set off a big fight. And this moment blew up right away. Within minutes, the picture was all over the place. People zoomed in, circled the mark, and broke it down frame by frame. I even stopped for a moment because the online response got out of hand so quickly. "I don't want to jump to conclusions, but this looks bad," one fan wrote. Very bad. That's why it became so popular, not because people knew what it was, but because no one did. Justin's supporters also responded just as quickly. Someone said, "It's probably baby powder from Jack's diaper. People are making it too complicated." And to be honest, I understood why some people think that too. Things like that can happen when you have a kid. But the stain itself wasn't the real problem. It was the general vibe around Justin lately, the tired look on his face, the way he held himself, and the emotional weight we had already noticed before. That one picture didn't prove anything, but it did make a fire that was already burning grow. And the most shocking thing was still to come. The live stream where Justin finally told everyone what was going on behind the scenes changed everything. If the white powder moment raised questions, his live stream answered them in a way that no one saw coming. He started off casually while sitting at a round table with his friends. Then, out of nowhere, the talk turned into something much more real. Justin finally said that he had been under a lot of financial stress, worried about paying his bills, and even feeling like he was far away from his family because of it. I remember watching and thinking, okay, this is the point where no one can disagree. That's exactly what I was thinking. Justin talked about how stress made him feel distant from the people he loved, how he tried to fill the void with money and things, and how none of it worked. You could tell he was telling the truth by the sound of his voice, tired, heavy, and ready to give up. "This didn't sound like a famous person," one fan said. "This sounded like someone who had been carrying too much for too long." And to be honest, I felt the same way. Someone else said, "Now I understand why the products keep coming out. They're doing their best to stay alive." And whether that's true or not, that's where most people's minds went. When someone openly says they're scared about money, every business choice seems to change completely. It wasn't the confession itself that caught my attention, it was the way he said it so clearly. There are no polished answers, no careful wording, and no scripted speech. Just a man who is worn down by the responsibilities, stress, and expectations he can't escape. And as the tension in the Bieber home grew clearer every day, what the internet saw next felt almost too strange to be true. I really thought the internet couldn't change its focus any faster after seeing Justin open up like that. But then, almost out of nowhere, my whole feed changed direction. New pictures of Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's wedding started to show up. And in just a few minutes, every timeline, fan account, and trending topic looked the same. It seemed like the whole internet stopped at once. The pictures were more than just nice. The pictures were warm and personal, like a scene from a movie. Selena standing in soft light, Benny stared at her as if she were the only person in the room. The note her grandparents wrote by hand, things that make you feel bad right away. You could feel the emotion even through the screen. A fan said, "I don't even know them, but these pictures make me feel at peace." To be honest, that was the word that kept coming to mind for me as well. Someone else said, "This wedding looks like something money couldn't buy, just pure happiness." That reaction spread quickly because the pictures didn't look fake or staged. It was like you were there with them all day because they felt real, lived in, and close. Then there was the unexpected detail. People who were there said that the rehearsal dinner alone might have cost close to $1 million. But even with all that luxury, the atmosphere didn't seem too much. It felt planned, calm, and very personal. The internet's reaction got even stronger as more photos and videos came out. This led to conversations that no one expected. As the photos spread, more and more information came out, especially about the dinner. To be honest, when I first saw the setup, I thought the number of people online was too high, but people who worked there kept saying it was true. For the rehearsal dinner alone, it cost almost $1 million, 0 cents. But this is the part that will surprise you. The atmosphere didn't feel flashy or over the top, even though a lot of money was spent. It looked like a small, cozy place where every detail was meant to make the day special instead of big. People kept talking about the menu, candlelit tables, custom drinks, handwritten notes, and other small personal touches that were shown in close-up shots. "It's pricey, but it doesn't feel showy," one fan wrote. It seems like they put a lot of thought into it. To be honest, that's exactly what I thought as I looked through the pictures. Luxury doesn't always feel cozy, but it did here. Someone else said, "It's amazing how calm everything looks. Like there's no stress or performance, just a couple having a good time." And that comment stuck with me because it explained why the internet went crazy. It wasn't just the money or the pictures, it was the feelings behind them. As more videos of Benny and Selena leaving events, getting into cars, and talking to each other in a normal way came out, people on the internet started to make up their own minds. They didn't do it because someone told them to. They did it because the differences between celebrity couples were becoming too clear to ignore. It's clear that the stories online aren't just headlines. When we look back at everything we've been through, there are glimpses of famous people who are still trying to keep their lives together, each in their own way. A lot of people would have a hard time dealing with the kind of pressure that Justin and Hailey are under, even if the whole world wasn't watching. So the little things that keep happening, like interviews, live streams, and videos, show that they're dealing with more than they thought they would when they first got married. The internet, on the other hand, reacts strongly to every photo, detail, and video clip, which can help or hurt them. This week, seeing how people reacted made me realize how quickly we make up our minds based on how things look at the time. I'm not here to pick sides or tell anyone what to do. I'm just here to see what's going on and try to figure out why people act the way they do. So here's my question for you. Please take some time to think about it before you answer. If you were Justin and were under a lot of stress because of money, emotions, and a marriage that was being judged in public, which moment this week do you think would have been the hardest for you and why? Please leave your comments below. I want to know how you see these times when you take away all the noise and just look at the human side of things. Things were quiet but heavy inside the Bieber house after that week of intense public attention. Hailey worked hard to keep their home stable and protect their child from the constant attention, while Justin spent long evenings going over bills and making plans. Every little choice seemed to matter more. There were cameras and whispers waiting for you outside when you left the house. Fans online argued about every move. Some people were critical, some were sympathetic, and others tried to put together a story from the clips that were all over the place. People kept watching Justin's live stream, which showed him talking about how disconnected and stressed he felt. People kept sharing Hailey's advice to take things one day at a time. Each time it happened, it sparked conversations about what life behind closed doors might really be like. In the middle of all this, a rare picture came out. Justin and Hailey were walking their child in the park, and the cameras that were nearby didn't bother them. The simplicity of the moment, with laughter, a little stumble, and a hand reaching out for help, reminded people that even famous people have normal moments. There were a lot of comments saying how relatable it felt. Life is not glamorous or newsworthy. It was a subtle reminder that behind every viral clip, every scandal, and every judgment, these were people navigating real struggles, trying to hold themselves together day by day. And for a lot of people who watched, that picture, which was normal but honest, was the one that stood out the most. The week that started with a lot of noise ended with a calm understanding. The human side of things can tell the story better than any headline,